Hi all, and welcome back to Amelia Finance. I'm currently a project manager for a Fortune 10 software company, and I have over 10 years of experience in consulting and project management within a couple of the big four consulting firms. Today we're going to go over the top 10 key terms and concepts that you'll need to know in order to pass the PMP test, the 7th edition that's started out in 2022. Those 10 key themes are: what is an outcome? What do they mean when we say portfolio, project, product, program? What is a project manager at a high level? What are they asking for? What is project management? What is the role that you're actually doing? Who is the team? What's your system for value delivery? And what is value? So with that, we'll just dive in. First things first is outcome. Outcome is the end result of whatever you're delivering, whether it be a project, a product, a portfolio of projects. That's the outcome. What is the value derived? Why would you spend your time, energy, and resources doing it? And this is important to think about this before you begin any of your projects or products, just so that you have a really good understanding of what is the actual outcome at the end of everything. So that's number one. Number two is portfolio. So it's good to think of this as a triangle because there's going to be a lot of P words, so just watch out. So you have a portfolio, and a portfolio is everything that is part of, everything within the portfolio could include the project, the product, the program, and to encompass all of those, sort of the fence around it is the portfolio. A good way to think about this is an artist. An artist may have a portfolio. When they open it up, it might have watercolor pictures, it may have some sculptures, it might have a 3D art, or it might even have video art. But all of those are considered art, and so they're all sitting within the artist's portfolio. So just think, the portfolio is the fence, and then everything that is in it is things that just support and build the portfolio out. Number three is product. The PMP defines it as an artifact that is produced or quantifiable and can be either an end-to-end item or a component. So example of this could be a granola bar, a net new granola bar that's released new to the public. It could be a new wrapper on the granola bar. That's another way how the product could be done. It could be something like a game, like the app Wordle. So all of those are products, and so what makes a product is it may not have a start, it may not have a clear end date. It could be an endless cycle of continuous improvement, as opposed to a project, which has a clear start and a clear end. So, and then a product is something that you're delivering to a customer. And your customer could be internal, so within your company, or it could be external, a consumer that's consuming it. So a couple different ways to think about it. And then just a quick call out here. I'm using the PMBOK guide, the 7th edition. This is actually on page 4 of this document. And this is a really good reference and resource if you're looking to pass the test, if you passed the test, if you already have your certification, or if you just want to get a refresher or freshen up. It's a pretty easy read to consume. Number 5 is project. This is what we're here to take. We're here to take the PMP. We're good project managers. This is our skill set. And a project is really a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique project, service, or result from the PMP. Core takeaway is that projects have start and they have end dates. They're not iterative, they're not constant and ongoing. Even when you have even when you incorporate agile principles, they're still not endless cycles that never end. They have a start, they have a finish. And then they can be, once again, part of a program or a portfolio. They could be, a project could be, let's do you're hiring new college graduates. This could be a component of the portfolio. And then it also could be developing the material to train those new college graduates. That could be considered a program and also a project within it. So these aren't like mutually exclusive. They all come together to help build the broader team, the broader company, the broader business unit. Project management is number 6, and this can be broken up into 3 key themes: knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques. Knowledge is really knowledge that you've learned on the job. So what steps, if you're painting a room, what steps do you need to do to prep the room, paint the room, clean up once the painting's complete? Do you know best practices on how to communicate? That would be a knowledge that you've gained over time. Skills are things that you've developed a bit more or more formal. So maybe you have a 500-hour worth of welding certificate, so you know how to build a fence. You could do, maybe if you have a bio degree and you're working on a vaccine, that is a specific skill that you've gone to school with, so you have an education or you have some sort of training in that. The PMP would be another skill that you add to your knowledge base of things that you've been able to grow. So even though it is knowledge, it also is a skill, it's a specialized skill. And then tools and techniques. Some of those tools can be as simple as having a Wi-Fi connection, really, because if you don't have Wi-Fi connection, you can't do a lot of things. You have, or if you're a painter, having the right set of paintbrushes to paint the room. And then as you get more technical into whatever you're doing or building, if you're in a software project, being able to have the right applications or the right resources or the licenses for your team, that'll be really critical. And that is a tool and technique that you have to document and make sure that you have that for your team. And number 7, project manager. This is you. This is what you're doing. This is what you're training for. All of this is to say, you are the project manager. What does that actually mean? So it means, how should you be working with your team? How should you be thinking about managing them? How should you be thinking, like, communicating with all your different teammates? What should you be expecting and planning for and being proactive? What do you need to mitigate? What issues and risks are you planning for? That's how you as a project manager, just to sum it up in a simple way, what you're looking for at this particular time. And obviously there's so much more, right? Like, we could spend much more time into what exactly that role is, but it's really making sure that your team is happy, it's satisfied, you're building trust, you're in a good position, you're learning and growing, you're being proactive and thinking about what is coming next, what might happen, what could happen, issues and risks, and then communicating with all your different stakeholders. So ranking them or putting them into themes and categorizing them, putting a level of racy around them, and just building out who they are and communicating. Project team is number 8, and this is 2 ways you can think about it. So you can think about it as your core team that you're working with. So if you are in a software development team, that could be your business analyst, your stakeholders, your developers, your engineering team, any other supporting resources, your design team, your writers. Those are your core team. But then you have secondary teams, and those teams you may not meet on a day-to-day basis, but may also be impactful. So your sponsor, your primary stakeholders, your outlying stakeholders, any governmental agencies, even though those aren't your project team, they're important to keep in mind and to document them and review them from time to time to make sure that you're planning appropriately and you're aware of what their needs are and what they're expecting from you. System for value delivery is 9. We're almost done. This is a little bit of a funny one. So the PMP defines it as portfolio, programs, projects, products, and operations can all be part of the system for value delivery. So this really is perhaps a business unit within a larger company. It could be a small team within that business unit. So it's really, how do you encompass all of these key terms that we've talked about: project, product, portfolio, program, encompassing them into a single group of people that is responsible, and then having like a key primary product manager at the top of that. And then value, number 10, value. And I like how this is structured with outcome as number 1 and value as number 10, because both of them are so interconnected that it's important to start off your project and finish your project, making sure that both of them are accounted for. Because if you start your project without thinking about value, that's concerning, because you could go and build something and the customer said, we didn't ask for this. And that's a problem, because then customers won't purchase it or they won't pay you. And then you're left not being able to have done what you needed to do. So this is what makes it, what is the why go ahead and spend your time, money, resources on this particular endeavor. And so if you can document that really clearly, that'll make it really helpful when you go to leadership, when you go to your other teams and you tell them about how cool and exciting this is. It'll help you be able to think through why you're asking for the budget at this particular time, this much, and why. And then you're able to show that value once you've delivered it. And people can say, oh, cool, you built this, you showed us what we thought the MVP was, that minimal viable product. You've delivered it, and now it's showing value. And so the outcome that we initially thought is correct, or perhaps it even added more value and has a better outcome than expected. So with that, thanks for watching Amelia Finance. Those are the 10 PMP key terms and concepts: outcome, portfolio, product, program, project, project management, project team, system for value delivery, and value. So with that, thanks. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know what you think.